Well, first off, forget about the starting thing, but we just got good news that Ryan will actually be ready to play against Evansville in Hawaii. He got cleared today.
Yeah.
So that's good, extra body. About the starting lineup, it's never different, coming off the bench, making the starting lineup, I think it's all the same. Every game, coach actually tells us, if the guards can get 2 feet in the paint and kick it out, then do that. If not, throw it into me or Mo and let us work out. And, they tried doubling Mo earlier. Mo, we made a couple threes off of his double, but other than that, he was pretty much able to finish around the rim, and I was pretty much able to finish around the rim.
Yes, for the most part. Just they're late. Me and B had a little miscommunication, and they got an easy 2 off of it. But for the most part, I think we did. We didn't really turn the ball over that much during the press, so that's something to look forward to. They were playing well for the majority of the game, and we were making some mistakes, but that comes with growth. We at the end of the day we got a W. That's something to look at. So we can make changes, but also feel good about ourselves because we won. And it's something that we can take on to Evansville and later on Hawaii. Coach talked about it early. Let's just go out here and play hard and let's win this game. Let's get a sour taste out of our mouth because with not playing for a whole week from Saturday to Saturday, it can really get to you mentally. And to some guys it actually did, but for the most part we stayed together as a team and we got the win tonight. For my individual grade, I feel like I did what it took to win this game, to lead my team. But I think I can feel good about this game. I've kind of been in a rut for the past couple games, and I'm not gonna lie, it has got to me. But as a senior, this stuff happens. I can't get too high when I'm high, when I can't get too low when I'm low. I have to be level-headed, and at the end of the day, I still have a job to do regardless, and that's to lead this team. And I think I did a good job of that tonight. Me and Coach talked about me being more efficient. I think tonight I did that. I didn't really have any bad shots or any deep threes, and that's what Coach always talks about. So as long as I lead my team, that's my first priority as a point guard and as a senior on this team. Get a defensive stop. They were rebounding the ball offensively pretty well. We weren't really boxing out. He just said put stops together and everything will fall out in the way that it needs to, and we did that. We made our free throws late after I missed my 2, and we sealed the game.
We were undersized. We were underestimating their size. They had some big guys, not height-wise, but weight-wise, So when we hit and box out, they can easily push us in the back, get a rebound. But I think we should have did a better job of hitting early instead of letting them establish their ground to push us forward. But other than that, hey, they did out-rebound us tonight. So I think we got to get better on the glass. Like he said, it's tough, playing from Saturday to Saturday, And he's absolutely right when he said that got the guys mentally coming off of 2 losses in a row. Everybody's anxious for a win, and being that that's Saturday to Saturday, it's actually messing with a lot of people's head. I think we have a huge stretch ahead of us, We got Evansville, then George Washington and Hawaii, and a lot of games up there. We need fresh bodies, and so we can win up there.
It'll be tough mentally, but at the end of the day, this is a tight group. I think we'll nip that in the bud real early. Probably on the bus ride there. Don't overlook Evansville because when we played them last year, they were no joke. A lot of guys knew what that team was about last year. So, and we're going to play them at their place. So we can't look forward to Hawaii. Or we'll catch an L before we get even in Hawaii. So, as a senior, I'm gonna make sure the guys really know. Hey, listen, this is what we need to do. Just take care of business so we can enjoy our time up there for a couple of days and then get back to business.
Confounding box score, and we shoot 47%, hold them to 33%, and can't put them away. I can't tell you how many the transition buckets, the offensive rebounds on their end. We did a lot of decent things tonight, and at times it was completely overshadowed by, I would call them bad decision-making. But I'll tell you what, sure feels better to talk about this after a win than a loss. So we need to get better at the decision-making process, whether that be shot selection, whether that be at times turnovers, whether or not that's communication and transition defense. Those aren't things that have anything to do with how good or bad of a basketball player. They have everything to do with how in tune with the game you are at that given moment. And why am I ranting like we lost? Hey, the world's longest duration 2-game losing streak is over. I thought Mo got us off to a good start, too. And I think some of that's predicated on having Tony out there, another scorer. There was easily his most efficient game. And yet, okay, you talk about the paradox of this game. Stat line's beautiful. You go across 8 for 15, you 2 for 5 from 3. That's good. 6 rebounds, 20 points. Wait, 4 turnovers? Again, we're like on the verge of being a supermodel, but the problem is we've got an extra ear coming out the side of our head. I mean, we're slightly off. And so we'll go nip and tuck that thing away, and hopefully we'll be beautiful sooner than later. It's the first time I've ever referred to myself or anything involved me as a supermodel. Well, Mike Laster was absolutely dynamite on Luckett. I mean, guys, he did terrifically on Luckett. And when Luckett did have success, it wasn't on him. Forget everything else that Mike did tonight. That was his job. That's what he was assigned to do, and I thought he did a terrific job of that. Luckett really got, other than a couple in transition, really, I thought only got one comfortable look all night, and that's where we didn't get a good enough hedge on a ball screen, and it had nothing to do with Mike. So he did terrific. I'll tell you what, you talk about a momentum boost going at the half, talk about changing the whole tenor of what I walked into when I walked into the locker room. That's a good play. And his role will expand as he gets more and more comfortable. You know, the thing with him is he's still getting his wind back. You know, forget the back. The back's fine, but in terms of he missed out on 4 months of conditioning. And there's a lot of us that know what it's like to go for 4 months without doing anything, but we're not trying to play college basketball. So he's doing great. I sure think he's got a world of upside. I think they both do. Well, so much for keeping things under a wrap. We honestly, right before as long as Tone's telling the world, I was going to keep it quiet. Actually, he can play some at Evansville. It isn't going to be a lot yet. He is going to be completely clear by Hawaii. What happened is they discovered, as the doctor took a closer look at it and talked to Ryan, that his spleen was actually going down in size, which I don't know how big my spleen is, but I'm sure mine is staying about constant. And then the other thing is the symptoms started to surface before Thanksgiving, so that tacks a couple extra weeks on. Basically, the doctor's interp, and based on where the symptoms are right now, he's coming out of this thing. That means he's been playing with mono guys. I'll tell you what, he was lobbying hard last night, too, to play. And I'm like, Mike, it's not our decision. I wasn't expecting anything like this. And it was literally right before the game, and the doctor just looked at him, and I knew either something awful had happened or something good had happened because Annika, our intrepid trainer, pulled me aside and goes, I got to talk to you real quick. I'm like, oh, boy. Because usually when the trainer's talking to you urgently, it's not, everybody's really healthy and everything's great. She goes, actually, Ryan's farther along in this than we think, and he'll be back a little. Well, I'm going to see how he feels for Evansville. If he's not ready to go, he's not going to be ready to go. But I do know this. He will be ready to go by Hawaii. And that, to me, the Evansville game is a game. There's 3 games in Hawaii, and they're in 4 days. And that extra body's going to be huge for us. So, yeah, he got the reprieve from the governor. Yeah, and boy, we would have had more of it. You know, I think I look at it this way. They shot 14 for 16 from 3, and they got probably 18 points in transition. I thought our guys really absorbed our defensive game plan pretty well and did a decent job of that. And our length can be problematic for teams. That's a strength of ours. Again, it's just a matter of just getting everything right. We're close. We're just a little off. It's like when you ever buy macaroni and cheese that's not Kraft, and it just doesn't. You try to save it. It's cheaper at Aldi's, and you get it, and it's just not the same. That's where we're at right now. You know, he does some good things defensively. He had 4 assists. I thought that was his toughest night of the year so far, without question. But you know what? He's averaged 18 points a game to this point, and he's played pretty well. So he's entitled. He can lean on some other people once in a while. And he certainly Bean doesn't lack confidence. And some of that is really, really good. And some of that is riding the lightning a little bit. And God bless him, he's working, and I'm trying to keep teaching and together. There's not going to be any free agent signings at semester. This is what we are. We've got to learn to live with it, and we've got to learn to win with it, more importantly. And like I said, we're not that far. But you can hear in my voice that at times it keeps me up at night a little bit. Absolutely. And you know what's really funny about that? That was off makes and misses. Alpha made free throw. You know what the funny thing is? You can ask our guys this to a man. What did you work on this week in practice? Exactly that. And we got some guys that are pretty good at it. Jerron can push in practice. He's okay. So we're not there yet. I know this. The option for me isn't to stop teaching. And I know this. They haven't stopped trying to learn. So as long as we got that atmosphere going, listen, it took me 3 or 4 times to pass 3rd grade, so what the heck? You like that word, clunky. I do. Well, hey, listen, hold on. It was clunky, but we shot 47%, so it wasn't as clunky as some of our clunkier ones.
Black and white, it may have looked smoother than it did in person.
You know the other thing? You missed our unclunky game, didn't you, Belmont? That was not at all clunky. We're trying to be, you know, some of it is they can make you play like that. Are ultimately, and they can talk about everything else, wins and losses is ultimately how you're judged in this profession. You got to do some other things right too, don't get me wrong. But, and you know what? They make you feel better. That's all there is to it. We're going to have plenty of wins here. I want them right now. I don't want to wait. Make no mistake about it. I'll take no eye off the future at any point this year and what we're trying to build long term. But long term doesn't make you feel any better right now if you lost. And I'm going to grind like heck for these seniors, and they are going to grind like heck for me. And we haven't paid into Picasso yet, but at least we're to the watercolor where the numbers get colored in. We're getting there. I guess we're getting there. And I told our guys in the locker room afterwards, I see what could happen if we all come together on the same night, where we all get back defensively on the same night, where we all get a little better balance offensively. You know, I look at it, it's real simple. I see us very clearly as having 2 guards that are really good at getting into the paint. I see us as having 2 bigs that are really good scoring down in the block. And at times we want to feature either one of them. And we have a really, really tough time feeling out as a team, feeling out what button we need to press. There was a moment in the second half last night where Stevie and Bean were having their way getting into the paint on their guards, and it opened up a lot of different things. There were also times in the second half where I think of that cut across the lane that Big Tone made, and it looked like a landslide. You know, bam, step through, there's a 3-point play. That's your game, essentially. Finding that balance. And that isn't lack of effort by our guys. That's still trying to understand a little bit how to play differently. But in order to fully utilize Tony and Maurice like we can, we need a little bit of both. Period. We need some balance. And to utilize Bean and Stevie, you know, Stevie shooting a rough percentage from the floor, take nothing but inside-out threes for a while. I bet your percentage goes up. You know, those are the kind of things we're looking at. But We'll get there. We'll get there, or I'll lose every hair on my head. One of the two. Well, for one, you've got a lot more time with them. They're not in class. We can watch more film. We can watch our hours that we can be with them increases by NCAA standards. It's kind of I shouldn't admit this. I once had a player go to me, "This is my favorite time in college basketball." What, you get to play and don't go to any class? That wasn't here, by the way, but it's kind of like training camp all over again. It really is, and we've got to treat it that way. You got more times individually to bring guys in. I can watch more tape one-on-one with guys so that if they have questions that maybe they don't want to ask in front of the group because they think they're going to sound goofy, ask me. I am goofy. It's no problem. But, yeah, it's definitely big that way in terms of being able to find time to shoot during the day. In terms of getting normal body rest without worrying about cramming all night for a final. This game in particular is a tricky game everywhere you look. And you're going to see it all over the nation, days like today, before and after finals. You saw a rash of upsets before finals. You'll see a rash of them immediately after. It's a goofy time. And you know what? I need my ozone back. Too many games in a row without the ozone here. I love those guys. They're loud over there. They're fun. And the 110, that makes this place, when did we play our best in here? When everybody was here. Appy State and Belmont. Those two games Belmont, they weren't here, were they? Were they? I don't remember. Not that I've forgotten you, ozone, but I don't remember. Anyway, we've got for a MAC school, we got a very unique setup where we've got a significant home court advantage when all the students are on campus. And almost made me sad yesterday when I saw the vapor trail out of town of everybody saying, "I got to get home for break." And don't blame them. Time to get your laundry done at home, right? Mothers of our students back home, please don't do their laundry for them next year so they stay one extra day and take care of all that stuff before they leave. No, I'm looking forward to the next time we play in this building. No, actually, we got one more during break. Then, geez, are we ever going to have a game where everybody's here? We'll win anyway. We'll be all right. Thank you. Merry Christmas to everyone. Next time you see me, I'll be sunburned.